Terry, Will, Ian, hello my friends. I've been following over the last couple of days your debates on the subject of God, time and now. And I'd like to offer my contribution, if I may. They're not my words, but over the last 12 or 14 years, they've become such a part of me that I just can't improve upon them. I've watched a video on YouTube in the last 2 or 3 days, actually, which has done exactly the same thing for me, and for which I'll be forever thankful. These are the words of Dennis Potter. Now, Dennis Potter was a playwright who lived about 25 miles away from here in the Forest of Dean. So we probably share a bit of an accent. We certainly share a lifelong battle with psoriasis. And this is from his final interview, which was broadcast on the 4th of April 1994 on Channel 4, and he was interviewed by Melvin Bragg. Dennis was dying of cancer. His wife had just died of cancer, and Dennis had been given weeks to live. So he wanted to make a final testament on TV. He loved the television. So he conducted the interview, racked with pain, crippled by arthritis, and he had to drink morphine and take frequent breaks. It was electrifying TV. And 6 weeks later, Dennis was dead. And I think the reason this passage has made such an impact on me is that if somebody doesn't know what life's about that close to his death, then who does, quite frankly? This is from a transcript of the interview. Hopefully I've fully referenced the video, as is the academic way. And it's my contribution to you guys' discussion on God, time and now. Dennis Potter, 1935 to 1994. I remember Martin Amis saying something about you reach your 40s. Your 40s are middle age. And nobody tells you, nobody's ever told you, you know, what it's like? Well, it's the same about knowing about death. We're the one animal that knows we're going to die. And yet we carry on paying our mortgages, doing our jobs, moving about, behaving as though there's eternity in a sense. And we forget, or tend to forget, that life can only be defined in the present tense. It is, and it is now only. I mean, as much as we'd like to call back yesterday, and indeed yearn to, and ache to sometimes, we can't. It's in us, but we can't actually. It's not there in front of us. However predictable tomorrow is, and unfortunately for most of the people, most of the time it's too predictable, they're locked into whatever situation they're locked into. Even so, no matter how predictable it is, there's the element of the unpredictable, of the you don't know. The only thing you know for sure is the present tense. And that nowness becomes so vivid to me that almost in a perverse sort of way, I'm almost serene, you know? I can celebrate life. Below my window in Ross, when I'm working in Ross, for example, there at this season, the blossom's out in full now. It's a plum tree. It looks like apple blossom, but it's white. And instead of looking at it and saying, oh, that's nice blossom, last week looking at it through the window when I'm writing, I'd see it is the whitest, frothiest, blossomest blossom there ever could be. And I can see it. Things are both more trivial than they ever were and more important than they ever were. And the difference between the trivial and the important doesn't seem to matter. But the nowness of everything is absolutely wondrous. There's no way of telling you. You have to experience it. But the glory of it, if you like, the comfort of it, the reassurance. Not that I'm interested in reassuring people, bugger that. The fact is, if you see the present tense, boy, do you see it. And boy, can you celebrate it. Dennis Potter.